Now this is Adeze Nwosu, 23 years old, fresh out of university with a second-class upper in mass communication from Unilag. A worn-out laptop with a cracked hinge held together by a strip of black electrical tape, and a dream so big it barely fit inside the single room she rented in Mushin for 35,000 naira a month. She was the kind of girl who carried a notepad everywhere, not for show, because ideas came to her at bus stops, in Danfo buses, at the boho queue on Wednesday mornings, and she had learnt early that if you do not write a thing down immediately, Lagos will swallow it whole before you get home. She had been applying for media jobs since her NYSC clearance letter. 12 applications, 12 rejections. 3 of them did not even reply. One replied 6 weeks later with a single line. "We have gone with a more suitable candidate. Thank you for your interest." No name, no signature, just the cold efficiency of a company that had already moved on. Her family in Anambra State called every Sunday. Her mother asked if she had eaten. Her father asked if she had found work. Her aunt, Aunt Ngozi, who everyone agreed had too much mouth and too little wisdom, would say on every single call without fail, "Ada, what exactly are you doing in that Lagos? Is it to suffer? Come home and marry somebody. This your career thing. Not every girl can do it. Some of us are just not wired for these big things." Adeze would say, "Yes, auntie," and hang up, and sit quietly for a moment, and then open her cracked laptop and keep working. Now, across the hall, in that same Mushin compound, lived Kemi. Kemi was 26, worked in a bank, wore pressed blazers every morning, and had the particular energy of someone who had mistaken confidence for wisdom. She was not a bad person, but she was the kind of person who used other people's struggles as a mirror to feel better about herself. "Ada," Kemi would say, leaning on the corridor wall with her arms folded, "you've been on that laptop since morning. What exactly are you building, please? A website that will pay your rent? Because that landlord is coming at end of month." Ada would smile. "I'm working, Kemi. Working," Kemi would repeat, and laugh the way people laugh when they want the word itself to be the insult. The compound people heard. The woman who sold akara at the gate heard. Even Baba landlord's son, who came to collect water rates, heard Kemi one afternoon and snickered as he walked away. This one is packaging herself as a content creator. Content creator with no light and no data. He was not entirely wrong about the data part. Ada was buying 500 naira data at a time, stretching it carefully, rationing her uploads like a woman rationing her last cup of garri. What nobody saw, because nobody was paying attention, was what Adeze was actually building. She had started a YouTube channel 6 months before her NYSC ended. Nothing fancy, just her face, her cracked hinge laptop propped on a stack of textbooks, and her voice, which was warm and precise in the way of someone who had spent years listening carefully to the world. She talked about Nigerian media, storytelling, culture, the things nobody was saying plainly. She did a video called "Why Nigerian Advertising Still Talks to Consumers Like It's 1997. She did another called "What the BBC Gets Wrong About African Stories." She did one just called "I Applied to 12 Jobs and Here is What Nobody Tells You." That last one was the one. She uploaded it on a Tuesday evening after NEPA took light, and she filmed it by torchlight because she had already scripted it and she refused to let the idea sit another day. It went up at 9:47 p.m. with 11 subscribers watching. By Thursday morning, it had 4,400 views. By Friday, 31,000. By the following Monday, a media consultant in Abuja had shared it on Twitter with the caption, "The most honest thing I have watched all year. Who is this woman?" Adeze did not know any of this immediately because her data had finished and she did not buy more until Saturday. When she finally opened her phone to 47 notifications and a YouTube analytics screen that looked nothing like anything she had seen before, she sat on the edge of her mattress in her Mushin room for a very long time, and said nothing. Then she opened her notepad and began writing. Kemi heard about it from Mrs. Fashola downstairs, who had seen the video shared by her cousin who lived in Abuja. Kemi climbed the stairs that same evening and knocked on Ada's door. "I saw your video," Kemi said. Her arms were not folded this time. "Thank you," Ada said. "So people are watching it?" "Yes." "How many?" Ada considered this. "Come inside and I'll show you." Kemi came inside. She looked at the screen. She was quiet for longer than Adaze had ever heard her be quiet. "Ada, this is a lot of views." "I know. And you did this here? In this room?" "In this room." Kemi looked around the room then. Really looked at it. The electrical tape laptop, the textbook tripod, the notepad on the table filled edge to edge with handwriting. The vision board pinned above the window, cut from old magazines and printed pages. She had walked past this room for months and seen nothing but a struggling girl. She had not seen the work. "I'm sorry," Kemi said quietly. "The things I said in the corridor." "It's okay, Kemi. It's not okay." A pause. "No," Ada agreed, gently. "But I forgive you anyway." What came next moved fast, the way Lagos moves when it finally decides to notice you. A media agency in Victoria Island emailed her, then another. A brand reached out about a partnership. A radio station invited her for a panel. The same media houses that had sent her 12 rejections began following her channel. One of them, the one that had never replied at all, sent a LinkedIn message complimenting her fresh perspective. She screenshotted it. She did not reply. She did not need to. Her mother called on a Sunday. "Ada, your cousin saw your video and said you are doing well?" "Yes, Mama. I am doing well." "And the work, the job?" "Mama, I have the job. I am the job." A long pause. Then her mother laughed, the kind of laugh that is also a prayer. Even Auntie Ngozi called. She said, "Ada, your video, I watched it. You are very intelligent, my dear. You know, I always believed in you." Adaze sat with that statement for a moment. The woman who had told her every Sunday for 2 years that she was not wired for big things. The woman who had suggested she come home and marry somebody. "Thank you, Auntie," she said, and hung up. And smiled. By the end of that year, Adaize Nwosu had 210,000 YouTube subscribers, a brand partnership with a telecommunications company, a column in a Lagos digital magazine, and she had moved from Mushin to a 2-bedroom in Gbagada. She upgraded the laptop. She bought a proper ring light. She hired a part-time editor, a young boy from Surulere who reminded her of herself 2 years ago. And she paid him more than he asked because she remembered what it felt like when the world undervalued your work. She never made a video about Kemi. She never named the 12 companies. She never went online to shame anyone who had laughed at her in the corridor. She simply kept building, loudly, joyfully, with her notepad always nearby. Because Adaize had learned something in that small room by torchlight, something that no rejection letter could teach and no mocking neighbor could take away. The people who laugh at your process have never committed to one, and the people who doubt your vision usually do not have one of their own. Moral lesson: nobody can see the cathedral while you are still laying bricks. Do not perform your dreams for an audience that is not ready to believe. Build quietly, build consistently, and let the work speak the kind of language that silences every room. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and pass it to someone who needs to hear it today.